dream life. If you're anything like me, you probably have the list of your inadequacies and shortcomings on replay. I think about how socially inept I am, how people are gonna find out that I'm a fraud, how people think that I'm ugly, how they think I'm too big, I'm not big enough, I'm not dark enough, I'm too dark. It's too much, right? And I tell myself these things, I tell myself to the point that I believe it. But one thing that I have noticed as of late is that these thoughts have begun to manifest themselves in the way that I interact with people. I have a difficult time saying no. I realize I have people-pleasing tendencies because I feel like I have to make up for my perceived inadequacies. So I will not say no. I will stretch myself thin. I will do what you ask to prove that despite all this going on, I'm always there. I'm reliable. But to whose detriment? The detriment of my own. I also notice I have a difficult time receiving compliments for the same aforementioned reasons. I don't think I deserve them. Why are you lying to me? And then another point that I've noticed too is that because of my insecurities, I do not think that I can trust my judgment. And then I go out and to ask other people for their opinion. And I experience analysis paralysis. I say analysis paralysis because now you have everybody's mom's opinion and you don't know what to do. And then I end up finding myself taking criticism from people I wouldn't take advice from. And why? Because I don't believe in myself. It's important now to ask myself, where did this come from? Where did these insecurities come from? Because quite honestly, I wasn't born like this. I don't really remember in kindergarten thinking about how dark I was, at least to the best of my knowledge. We are all born tabula rasa, a blank slate, if you will, ready to absorb everything the world has to offer, ideologies, people, places, and ideas. But unfortunately, in this period of time that we're exploring and growing, when our mind is still forming, we meet the wrong people that make us feel less than for one reason or another. And our brains haven't caught up to the current climate, the current social climate. And we have this negativity bias. This negativity bias protected us when it was a life or death situation. But now, because of this negativity bias, one person can say something bad about us and we take it and run. It's honestly sad when I think about how many people can get 101 compliments, but one bad compliment, or well, not one bad compliment, one negative review can ruin them. And that whole thing will shape how they feel about themselves. So now, what do we do with this negativity bias? We stay in our comfort zones because it's comfortable. Nothing bad can happen to you if you stay in your comfort zone. And that's just our brain trying to protect us. That's all our brains know what to do, to protect us. But there is a bad side to staying in your comfort zone. And what is that? You're comfortable. It doesn't sound too bad on the surface, but hear me out. There's that saying, nothing grows in the comfort zone. Now, why do they say that nothing grows in the comfort zone? Because you don't take risks. You don't see what else there is to explore. Your insecurities can tell you that I am less than these people, and then that'll lead you to not trying to make new connections. Your insecurity can tell you, oh, my professor thinks I'm so dumb, and then you don't ask for help. You don't email the PI for a new research position. You don't try that new thing because you think that you are not good enough for the opportunity. And unfortunately, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy here. I can tell you, like 100%, that my insecurities stopped me from doing one of the most basic things, going to class. I would be consumed with thoughts that everybody and their grandma and their friends and their whole extended family and their whole lineage is probably thinking about how my outfit sucks on Locust Walk, or how dumb that answer was to the question. Saying it out loud sounds ridiculous, but I full-heartedly believe this, to the point where I would get so anxious, I'm not even going to no class. You won't catch me nowhere because I'm not going anywhere. Why? Because I didn't think I was good enough to occupy those spaces. And so one thing that has helped me is to question the source of my insecurities. I already said it before. I don't think I was born with this. I don't think I was at no playground when I was 4 thinking about, damn, I am so big. No. So where did they come from? And by questioning the source of my insecurities, I've realized that they're flawed sources. Like for my skin, for example, the biggest criticism I was getting about my skin was from people who were also insecure about their skin. So why would I listen to those type of people? The same people who were talking about how bad my skin is and this and that had their own insecurities about their skin. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just you have to question the source of where this information is coming from, because it could be a flawed source. It could be just someone projecting and making you now feel bad about yourself. Obviously, it's not a catch-all for all these, but it has been lovely. It has helped me so much in trying to get over these insecurities. So now I'm trying to give you actual tips on what I've been doing as of late to help me. So I have my notes here again to help me get over these insecurities. So the one thing that I've been doing, aside from questioning this where my insecurity is coming from, is taking the bull by the horns. Sometimes in life you just gotta, I don't know how else to say it, I don't know how else to describe it, right? So for example, with the one of me going to class, not going to class, it was so difficult. You do not understand how hard that was for me. And I was in my bed one day after me panicking about not going to class, and I was like, what am I doing? I can't do this. Even if you just walk to the class, we are going to walk to this class. You're going to walk on local. I forced myself, and I have anxiety. So by forcing myself, I showed myself like it's not as bad as I have it in my head. If you're anything like me, you probably over exaggerate how bad the negative could be when it's really not that bad, right? And I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. No one thinks I'm dumb. Actually, people think I have pretty good ideas, right? And I was able to do that by taking that first step and taking the bull by the horns. I did it in the I was so anxious. Not like I was so anxious, but I'm like, I need to do something different. I can stay here and be anxious, or I can go outside and be anxious. At least I'm working towards something. So that's the first thing. So, you know, if you're worried about gym, because when I first started working out, oh man, that whole gym thing was very scary to me. But like, I was forced to take the bull by the horns because someone was keeping me accountable. My coach is gonna be there, so I'm like, shoot, looks like I'm going. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling about my body and stuff like that. And through that, I became way more comfortable because I'm like, no one like cares. No one is looking at me like that. So why am I? It was huge. Another thing that I did is like the positive what ifs. As I mentioned before, we have this negativity bias, right? Thinking that the sky is gonna fall, right? And the sky really never falls most of the time. And we all have these negative what ifs. What if I go to class and the teacher thinks I'm dumb? What if I ask this person out and they reject me and my life falls apart? What if? They're all negative what ifs. So why don't we try positive what if? Why don't we try something new? Why don't we say, what if I go to class and I realize, hey, like I'm interacting with this material in a way that I never thought possible? What if I'm able to form a new study group? What if I actually take the leap and join this club and I meet people that change the entire trajectory of my life? Think of these positive what ifs. We have to counteract this negativity with some type of positivity. You know what I mean? Because that has been helping me. And then another one is like rewarding ourselves. This is like, I don't know, basic conditioning. But I noticed for myself that I am so hard on myself. So even when I was able to start going to class, I was like, oh, there are people who do this anyways. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just this, I'm just that. I cut that out. And I started rewarding myself. So I'm like, if I'm able to go to class today, you know what? I'm going to go buy halal, right? And by doing that, I was really proud of myself because I'm like, wow, Slay, I did that. I am her. So by rewarding yourself, even if it's so small, it's not small to you because it's taking up so much of your life. So if you're having difficulty, say, talking to somebody and you took that leap and you talk to somebody, don't come and like discredit them and be like, oh, there are people who are able to do this. There are people in your same position who aren't able to take that effort. So the fact that you took your effort and you're taking control of your life, you need to reward yourself for that one, right? So that we're reinforcing that positive behavior. And I think like the last one that I want to end this off on is shifting the focus away from yourself to a greater mission. That has helped. You don't understand how much that one has helped me, especially in terms of coming to class, right? Because I would be very scared. I would be thinking, one, I would be shifting the energy inwards to myself. Like, people are thinking about me. They're gonna think this about me. They're gonna think that about me. 101 things about me. But when I shifted the focus outward, like, what is a greater mission here? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why do I even go to school, right? And I'm thinking, like, there are people who are rooting for me, right? I am the oldest of 4 of us. Yes, 4 of us. I'm the oldest of 4. They're looking at me and be like, wow, it's possible. We don't have to stay in this neighborhood. We can go out and we can do something better, right? when I think of it like that, I'm like, this is not only for me. And it gives me almost like this armor of like, if I do get embarrassed, it's like, it's okay, because there's a greater mission at hand. It's not only about me. When I go home and I'm able to interact with these kids, I'm like, it's bigger than me, because now I've inspired someone to be like, you don't have to stay in this area, it's bigger than you. So if there's like a bigger mission than you, like for example, if you're trying to get on your weight loss journey, it's like, what is the bigger picture here? By looking at the bigger picture, it helps you. It's like, I want to be fit so I can be there for my family, right? I want to be fit to inspire other people who are going through this kind of journey, right? You have to think the bigger picture. And by thinking the bigger picture, especially for me, it has helped me to not only get that first step, but I have a new energy for it, right? And so if you've gotten this far in the video, I really want to appreciate you listening to me. This is something I'm very passionate about, which is why I had more notes than usual, because especially this, my anxiety is a liar, and I recognize it's a liar, but it still holds me back sometimes, right? And the ubiquity again of people who their insecurities are just running their lives, it makes me very sad. It makes me very sad, right? Because I know that I am one of them. I'm trying not to, at least. Like, this whole me making this video thing, this is an exercise in public speaking. I am not a public speaker. So I just, that's just how it's like going for me. But yeah, I just hope that this video resonates with you in one way or another. So thank you.